I would now like to bring out a beautiful woman who is going to send us off with a beautiful story. Oh, ladies, stay seated. I'll let you sit here. I'm going to have her come out here. Put your hands together and welcome to the stage Elaine Grinnell. Elaine, come on out. She's going to come out and give us a great story here. She drove all the way from Portland to be here today. Here she is. Hello, Miss Elaine.
Said tennis na Elaine Grinnell, Nisa Yupo Postuelas, Justice Titlam Nusclayam, Shasho Clutchin Stachi, Shasho Clutchin Stachi, Mano I tongue in this chacha, Mano I tongue in this chacha. I'm so happy to be here. That was a welcome from the Nusclayam Mutsen, and we do have our own language. Yes, we've been working out for 25 years to get it back, and now we have our own dictionary. We have classes up at the high school from one to from preschool actually up to the 12th grade, and it's been accepted at the University of Washington as a foreign language. Yeah. Yeah. We don't even care whether it's a foreign language. We got there. Yes, we're really hoping that our language will be honored, and we welcome everyone to learn our language. There aren't too many speakers left. And ladies, I just want to compliment you on what you have shared with us today. And sometimes it's you gather all of your strength from maybe your next door neighbors, or maybe it's another person that comes up on the scene, or whether it comes from within. And I think our Native people we're very, very fortunate that we have people around us all the time, and we know that we can depend on our neighbors. We're very lucky that way, and our tribal governments, and each one of us does have a tribal government council, and so we try to keep them together as much. It doesn't take all the pain away, but what we call it is lighten the load, and so now you have several people out here that are willing to lighten the load of each one and take those sorrows away, and also to help out in any way that's possible. Thing is I started very young, I guess, trying to protect myself. I was born in '36, and so the divorce was just almost unheard of. And oh no, my mother was going to get a divorce, first one in the whole family, and it was just almost more than she could bear. In fact, it was too much for her to bear. And at that time, she did feel very, very alone, and because of being the first to have a divorce. And so she was living up in Bellingham, or on the Lummi Reservation, and she decided to come home with me. And so she carried me on the ferry, and she went up to the second floor and went to the railing, and she was going to jump. And I heard about this several years later. But anyway, it was comical in one way, and luckily you can tell that she didn't. But anyway, what happened was that she climbed up, and she was going to commit suicide and take me with her. And so she thought she'd look down and just see, one more time she's going to look at the baby. And luckily I happened to smile. Maybe it was gas, I don't know. But I smiled, and then she just couldn't do it after that. And so we both made it through that bump, and I didn't even know about it. And so anyway, after I heard the story, I think, well, that's pretty good. I'll just keep smiling. And I know there's a lot of bumps coming, because I've gone through a lot. not any more than anyone else. God only gives us what we can handle. And I've been a fisherman, a commercial fisherman for our tribe. The first one that was out on the water in the Straits of Juan de Fuca. And even the tribal members didn't care for that because it was bad luck to have a woman on the water. And so we turned out to be pretty good fishermen, my husband and I, and we fished for 10 years. And nobody wanted a woman out on the water, you know, because it was never heard of. And so we finally got that, and he's a master electrician. And so anyway, in 2000, whatever, I retired from the school district. I was a student I was a counselor for Native American students, and that was really the highlight of my family and my career, I think. I do have 3 children, adult children, 56 and 52 and 50 this next month. And at about 3 years ago, I had 9 children that were attending college. That's quite a few. Boy, we're all just trying to help each other out, you know. But that was really rewarding for me because that was my life at that time. I've been married for 54 years now. But anyway, all of our stories are about teachings, we call it. They're lessons. And there's a lesson in every single story that you can pick out. Maybe it won't be the same lesson I would pick out, but there are lessons there. And I truly believe every story is this way. But we concentrate on the Native American story, and this is kind of a funny one. I want to share it with you because I just want to let you know how I become very humble. When I got the job for the school district in Port Angeles, Washington, well, then they quickly sent me off to Arizona and for preschool children. And I don't know why they had to send me so far away. I thought that they didn't like me. And so they sent me down to Arizona in July. And I'm for sure they were trying to kill me, I know that. But anyway, back in those days, I didn't really know very much about other Indians. And I knew the peninsula and all of that. But gosh, an Apache, if we have Apaches out there, just hold on, because I'm going to tell this story anyway. And so, anyway, when I got down there and read the flyer, well, I found out that our director was going to be an Apache. Well, you know, I had it visualized that Apaches had high boots. See, I didn't know anything about it. Just on TV. And they always have a headband. They always have high boots. Very little else but a knife hanging down, you know, and they'll kill you on the spot. Okay, and here he's going to be our director. Okay. Well, I had my steno pad. I had my, and this was a brand new thing, the felt marker pen, and I had it ready to go because I was going off to college. Here I go at this late date. But anyway, it was a seating area similar to this in here. And I thought, I can hardly wait to see this Apache. I wonder what he's going to look like, you know. Curtained open, and there he was, the most handsome person I ever saw in my whole life. My whole life. He had muscles. I didn't even know that you could have them there. They were all built up, you know. Gee, they had muscles. Yeah. And so I thought, wow, look at Apaches have really changed. You know, other ones were kind of skinny armed, you know. Had skinny little arms, but now look at him. Look at, wow, beautiful teeth. Gosh, I thought look at that. And his hair was so, you know, had such a nice cut on it. And so this, oh gosh, and as he talked, such diction and he just exactly knew where he was going to go and what he wanted us to learn and so on. And that's good. That's good. And I thought, oh, geez, I better start writing something down because what he's saying is important because he's our director. And so I took the top off this felt pen, and I looked at him again. Oh, he's so handsome. And I was all caught up in that. And then so I was still sitting there, and I was thinking, oh, gee, oh my gosh. Oh, he's just, my mother would have been so proud of me. Yeah, so, gee. Well, anyway, finally, I thought, oh, I'm going to start writing, and then it was over with. And he said, I want you to all come down. I want you to shake hands with the staff, and I'm your director. Okay, fine. I get to touch him, And this is the highlight of my whole life, and I'm still pretty young. And so we went down there, and I noticed that the staff even looked kind of fun. They really looked at me, and they, looked at my face. And I said, gee, they're sure friendly people, around here. And so I got to him, and he really looked, yes. Yeah, he's never seen a Peninsula Indian before. And so anyway, that was all over with, and he was pretty casual, shook my hand and looked at me again, and then I took off. Well, then I went to the restroom, and I was walking fast, walked by the mirror, and then I stepped backwards because I saw something rather odd. I looked back there, and I had these black dots all over my face. I tried to get them off, and I think, now how can I get out of this? No wonder they were looking at me so big, But anyway, so I thought, well, if anybody asks me about it, I'm going to tell them it's a tribal thing. It's a tribal thing. Yeah, Connie is over here. I think she's still there. Okay, I was going to say, yeah, that's a Puyallup. Puyallups always do that. A long time ago, there was this grandfather that was going to walk the Spirit Trail. And he was concerned about all of his grandchildren. Now, did I talk to them? Did I give them the lessons I want them to learn? The ones that they are capable of and that they would do really well at. So you don't want to give all the lessons. This is way before the school days. You don't want to give all the lessons to one person. What you want to do is spread them out. And so that each one can become very, very good at fishing for a task, or maybe it was hunting, maybe whatever it was. Everybody had their good thing that they could do. They could share it all right. They could do all of that. But he wanted to pass on these educational notes for these kids. And so it was, the reason being you don't want to give something to each one of the kids, or everything to one of the kids, is because it'll break down the community. They will not have to rely on each other. And so it's really important that many people know different things. And so if you needed to have meat, well, then you would go to the hunter. Or if you wanted to have fishing, well, you go to the fisherman. But of course, they would all learn how to do all of those things. But there's always something special everyone had. And this is the way that they passed their education. He walked out and he observed all of his grandchildren playing. And he says, yes, I've talked to him, told him what he should do, and now notice it's a him. And yeah, I've talked to him, so I don't have to say any more. And I've talked to him. All at once, he was really aware of this little face down here. And he says, "Oh, grandson," he says, "Mana ay squatchy ayanuk." "Ah, yes," the little boy said. He said, "It's a good day, grandfather." And so he says, "Well, what are you doing today?" And the little boy, grandfather was talking to him all by himself. He says, "What are you doing today, grandson?" He said, "Nothing." "You cannot do nothing. You have to learn something every single day. You have to do something new every single day. Look at things need to be done. See those things those people that are in need." Oh, and the little boy, he was catching the heck, but he didn't care because Grandpa was talking to him. He said to grandfather, "Now," he said, "what are you going to do tomorrow?" And he said, "Nothing." "Oh, no. I just finished telling you that you can't do nothing. You have to see the needs. You have to learn something. You have to take care of these people. You have to learn what's going on around here, how we're organized, how you can help, how you can do things differently to make it easier on your people. That's up to you. When I'm gone, you're going to take my place." Oh, gosh. Okay. He says, "Okay, what are you going to do tomorrow?" "Nothing." "Oh." He says, "All right." He says, "You go home and tell your mother that we're going to go ahead, we're going to go down to the river, and I'm going to show you the fine art of fishing with a net." Okay. And he says, "Wait," as the little boy was going to take off. He says, "Wait." He says, "I want you to see that mountain right over there?" Yeah, the little boy turned around and saw the mountain. And he said, "When the sun hits the top of that mountain, I'm going to be at your house. I'm going to be knocking on your door, and you be ready. You be ready to go. Tell your mother too." Okay, so that's what happened. He went home, told his mother to prepare lunch, and then they're going to go fishing. And away he went. He's told him now 2 or 3 lessons. You can count them yourself. Yeah, he's already taught him 3 lessons. Now, the next day, he was knocking on his door. There they went. There was a little shaking over here on the path, in the bushes. And so, they stopped like this. The only thing that they moved was just their eyes. Oh, they stood so still. And then pretty soon out came this little black nose and little tiny ears. Oh, striped down the back and the tail straight up. Oh, but they just stood so still. And pretty soon this little smutson, a skunk just walked right in front of them, and she disappeared over here. And then they started laughing. He says, "Grandson," he says, "I want you to remember something." He says, "It's the little things in life that are going to stop you dead in your tracks." He says, "You just remember that."
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Elaine Grinnell.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elaine.